Hi guys, I'm going to show you how to create a Hangman game in Python. First, let's create our py file. I want to call it hangmangame.py. Okay, let me close the sidebar and let's get started. At first, we need actually a couple of words so we can actually pick from. So let's create a word list, and I'm going to add some items so we can actually pick one as a random word. And the random word should be equal to some word of this list that we're going to apply the randomness with a random library in Python. Let's import the random function, okay, without the underscore, and then let's apply it random.choice, and okay, choice, and inside of this we should pass the word list, and it will pick a word from this list for us. Okay, as a sample, let's print this random word so we make sure it's actually working. And let's run our app, and ice cream, one more time, ice cream, ice cream. Okay, cheesecake, pizza, milkshake. Okay, it's working. And let me remove this and let's go to the next step. Now we need an array so we can display it for our users when the word is still hidden. So let's call this array display gaps, and it should be equal to a couple of underscores, and the length of it should be the length of these random words, so multiplied by random word length. Okay, and then we need a maximum attempts that our user can make, and I'm gonna make it I'm gonna set it to 7. I will tell you why a couple of seconds later. And also the number of attempts that our user has made so far, let's call it so far attempts, and it is equal to 0 by default. All right, we also need to keep track of the letters that our user has guessed, so let's create an array for it. Let's call it guessed letters, and it should be empty by default. And then we need our Hangman figure array that is going to be made by step as our user guesses the words, and it has 7 different figures until the man is actually hung. That's why we made 7 attempts at most. Let's also print the last step. Okay, as you can see, the man is hung and everything is fine. Okay, I modified the spaces as well. All right, now that we also have our hangman figures, let's go to the next step, which is our main game loop. It's going to be a while loop and true, because it's going to loop over and over until we break it somewhere. And at first we should print the hangman figure with so far attempts, which actually specifies the level of our user in the game. And then print the display gaps, which is the array with underscores that we just set it to show the random word as a hidden word. And then we need to input some word from our user as the guessed word. Let's also have some expression like guess a letter, colon, and then let's lowercase the input. That would be a lot better. And then if the length of this guess was not equal to 1, which means our user has input more than one word, or it was not equal to, it was not actually a character, and we specify this functionality with guess.isAlpha. Then we should actually tell our user that the input is not valid. Make sure you write everything well. Okay, you should enter a letter, and then we should continue to the game loop so our user inputs the right character. And after we checked the validity, we should check if this current input has been already guessed, which means it's inside the guessed letters. So we should tell our user that you have already guessed this word, guess this letter, I mean. Guess that, okay, and then continue. All right. And after we checked the repeated words as well, we are sure that the input is valid. So let's just append it to our guess letters. All right. And then we should check if this letter is inside the random word. So we should say if guess, which is the letter in word list, colon, and then for I in word list length, okay, the range of length of word list. All right, then we should set the ith element of display gaps to the specific letter because it is the right word, and now it shouldn't be hidden anymore. Okay. And after that, we should check the else statement, which means the letter was not correct, and we should actually increment the so far attempts and also print that it wasn't correct. So let's say incorrect guess, and you have this much attempts left. And we should say that with max attempts subtracted by so far attempts and guesses left. Okay, and after that we are actually done with the functionality. We should check actually if our user has won the game or not. So we should check if there's no underscore in display gaps, then the user has won the game and actually has guessed all the letters. So let's print congratulations, you won, and okay, you won, and the word was, and then break because game is over. Else, if the user has run out of attempts, we should check that too. So for attempts was equal to max attempts, which means there's no attempts left anymore. We should say you're not out of attempts, and the word was the random word, and then break because the game is over. And this should be an elif statement, not an else statement. So let me modify this. Elif. Okay, perfect. So let's review. We print the figure and get the input, check if the user has already guessed it, and if it was right or not, and if the user has run out of attempts. Okay, it sounds right. But let me modify this because it should be a random word. Make sure you do this too because word list was not right. It should be random word. We check the guess inside random word, and then inside the loop we should check if the random word ith element is equal to the guessed letter. Then we should set the ith element of display gaps to this guessed letter, which is guess actually. Okay, make sure you take care of this. Okay, let's take a look. P, for example, then A, N. Okay, it should be pancake probably, but let me input a couple of wrong ones so I can see the figure. All right, and this. Okay, I lost, and you can see the figure. That's all. Thanks for watching.